Welcome to Hamilton Cinema, everybody. Today we're going to do a review on the new movie, The Crow. This is the 5th time this movie has been made. The director attached to this movie is Rupert Sanders. He's directed movies in the past such as Snow White and the Huntsman and Ghost in the Shell. Now let's give a quick summary on The Crow. Soulmates Eric Draven and Shelley Webster are brutally murdered when the demons of her dark past catch up with them. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Draven returns to seek bloody revenge against the killers, transversing the worlds of the living and the dead to put the wrong things right. Now this movie also had a budget of $50 million. Alright folks, let's jump right into it. Acting and casting. The acting in this movie is not bad, but it is far from good. Only person I can say that did a good job was the main character played by Bill Skarsgård. And that's a stretch to me. I know he's a good actor, but it could have been the bad script writing also. I mean, the singer or now actress FKA Twigs played his lover. Surprisingly, she wasn't that bad either, but it's nothing to be amazed by. The casting wasn't the problem with this movie. Bill Skarsgård fit this role. Like, I bought him as this specific character. Nobody really felt out of place or forced. FKA Twigs' character could have been played by Zoe Kravitz or Kristen Stewart. I don't know, it gave me those type of vibes that matches Bill Skarsgård, but Twigs was still casted pretty okay. Even the villain of the movie is a good actor and is not that bad. We seen him play Stryker in the X-Men series where I thought he did a good job. So I'm gonna give the acting in this movie and the casting a 7 out of 10. Moving on to the characters and the villain. The characters in the movie is nothing new. Since we kind of know the story sort of, we know what to expect. I know this one was a little different from the others, but it's the same concept. The main character, Eric, was supposed to see something with anger and rage, but it just felt like, I know this character is supposed to be dark and cool and mysterious like Brandon Lee, but it has to have its own thing to it, so I wouldn't knock it down trying to compare it to the other. All of the other characters' personalities was just bland. I mean, the villain was intimidating in a way. He reminds you of a villain in the movie Ghost Rider. I mean, it's like a huge resemblance. Their motivation was clear but dumb. I can understand his logic, but it's generic. I give the characters and the villain a 7 out of 10. Moving on to pacing and length. The movie's pacing was all over the place. I think people wanted to see The Crow and not a long backstory of how the two lovers met and their small adventure. I mean, I felt like it took way too long to get to his powers, and we are actually here for it. The runtime of the movie is 1 hour and 51 minutes. Now, that's not too bad if the pacing wasn't bad and empty. There are scenes that could have been cut short and added more of that spectacular action that was in the movie towards the end. That's one thing about the movie I really liked, was the action. But I'm going to give the pacing and length a 7 out of 10. Moving on to the action. The action was definitely the best thing of this movie. The fight scenes gave you a John Wick vibe, and we all know those scenes are great. It's pretty gory and long, but you won't get this until late in the movie, like the 3rd act. This doesn't save the movie, but it is done pretty well. The movie does have more action and revenge than the other Crow films. I give the action a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the conclusion. Overall, I wouldn't look at this as a remake, but as an adaptation to the other movies. I know they want to do their own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. It's just uninteresting to me, and the pacing was horrible. When it felt like it was supposed to pick up in the middle, for some reason, it went right back down. The last act is like the only thing to look forward to, but it's not enough to save the movie. This movie had a mixture of like a Twilight / Ghost Rider / John Wick vibe. I say Twilight because of the little emo relationship they had, and Ghost Rider because of the villain. And the main character had those 2016 Joker tattoos. And I say John Wick because of the crazy action scenes at the end. They kind of remind me, they're kind of similar. It's worth a watch if you're a fan of The Crow since the first one, but don't go in expecting too much. Definitely lower your expectations and you will not be disappointed. Alright folks, that's all from me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.